Welcome to Your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 810. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book, but you need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy 4th of July. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look for Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 20 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that 3 things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. Those 3 things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. And once again, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, happy weekend, happy 4th of July, happy all the things. And as we do every Sunday here on the show, it is Sunday story time, where I grab a book off my shelf, whether it's one of my own books or a client book or a book that has positively impacted me in some way. I read you an excerpt and then pose some sort of learning question or something to make you think about things. And for this week's Sunday story time, I chose a client book by the lovely Christina Perez. The book is, of course, for the 4th today, Red, White, and Latina, Our American Identity. And here's the excerpt. On a family trip to New York City, my husband Christopher and our daughter Sophia and I visited the famous statue. We walked through her museum, saw how she was built, sent over in pieces from France and the rest of the familiar narrative. Then we arrived at a section of the museum dedicated to a different story, the human one. The 3 of us read through letter after letter from the people who sacrificed everything to come to our country. After often harrowing escapes from their homelands and miserable journeys across the ocean full of pain, sickness, death, and other horrors, Lady Liberty was the first thing they would see rising up from the mist as they neared the end of their journey to freedom. Over and over, their heart-wrenching letters expressed what the sight and the experience meant to them. On a plaque at the Statue of Liberty Museum, you can read letters and diaries penned by some of these immigrants. Here are 2 that we found most inspiring. She was a beautiful sight after a miserable crossing. She held such promise for us all with her arm flung high, the torch lighting the way to a new world. Unidentified immigrant. You, American-born, can never imagine how we who lived under all kinds of isms felt when we, in the early hours of a very cold January morning, saw you, the Statue of Liberty. To us, you meant real freedom. Thank God we made it. Stelio M. Stelson from Turkey, 1972. Do Americans today fully understand the promise our young country made to those people? The promise it continues to make generation after generation? I believe my daughter understood when I made the analogy of her grandparents, what they sacrificed and the trauma they endured in their early years here. I could see she was moved. What about her peers, my own peers, and even members of older generations who may not understand and should know better? Do we truly understand what the Statue of Liberty meant to those who gave up everything just to see her for the first time? The Statue of Liberty is supposed to represent acceptance and welcome to all people who share America's ideals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is a visual reminder that with those 3 things as common denominators for acceptance, any other differences can be resolved. Welcoming us all with open arms, the statue reminds us that our uniqueness and diversity can bring us together, not drive us apart. Yet here we are, all these years later, being driven apart by a variety of controversial issues where our diversity is being used to fuel the fire rather than extinguish it. Conversations about our differences, rather than our similarities, continue to divide us more and more by the day. We can't allow this to happen. There is too much at stake to risk falling down now. When the country falters, so does the dream it represents. This is dangerous because, as powerful as we are, America is still a young country, especially in comparison to other countries with centuries or millennia of history. What defines our identity and makes us different? What will give us the power to survive, especially in turbulent times like these? What will give us the strength that other superpowers have to stand the test of time? The answer is simple. Our strength lies in the power of the American dream and the one strong, unified American identity. The power of the American dream is the power we have to welcome many backgrounds and stories and to blend them together into one American spirit. This will be America's legacy, but each one of us must contribute. The power of my American dream is the power of the legacy I will leave for my daughter and the legacy you will leave for your children. It is a legacy of opportunity, a legacy of faith, a legacy of identity, a legacy of commitment, a legacy of having a voice, and a legacy of believing in yourself, your future, and the futures of your children. I once asked my father what he felt to be the American dream, and he replied, "It's simple. The opportunity to work, to raise, and provide for my family and for my children to obtain the best education possible." He added, "What you can do in this country, you cannot do anywhere else in the world." That, once again, was an excerpt from one of my clients, her book, Christina Perez, Red, White, and Latina, Our American Identity. I'll drop a link in the show notes so you can get yourself a copy as always. Very simple question. What's your American dream? I'll just leave it right there. What is your American dream? Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And please drop by my Ink Authors group on Facebook. You can feel free to answer the question of the day. I can speak with words. And also, while you're in Ink Authors, ask for the motivation, accountability, book writing, publishing, resources, and more that we offer there. Let us know how we can support your writing goals. Until tomorrow, happy writing.